let's talk about the laws of thermodynamics. What does that have to do with anything with God and the Bible? That will actually prove the existence of God, actually. So these laws I always use when I argue with an atheist or a person who does not believe in God. One of the things you must understand is, okay, how you can prove that God exists is that you got to think about this. How were we created? Alright? And you have to start by the very first source, by how were we created. Alright? Think back, okay? And people are going to say all a bunch of things. Oh, you know, maybe, two meteorites clash together from this dark matter, then from dark matter, then from gas, and then from gas, and then evolved into a little bit of matter, and blah, 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 blah. They'll give all kinds of things, alright? But whenever they blab off something that you don't understand, or something scientific, all you have to understand is this. No matter what they say, you have to ask them this question. You have to ask them this question. Where did that come from then?
Amen. Yep.
See? You have to keep asking them that. Then they'll probably say something else. Well, then it came from this and this and this. And I said, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And these people I know who think that they're all smart, I keep asking them that. And they have to keep answering. Then they say, well, that came from this. And I say, okay, where did that come from?
Right.
And I keep asking them that, and guess where they're going to finally hit? They have to say, I don't know after that.
Amen.
See?
Don't know.
Now, I can tell them where it came from. See? So I tell them this. Okay, so here's something you must understand. No matter how far back we go, there are only 4 places that you're going to have to hit. Only 4 areas, all right, on how we were created. Only 4 things, okay? One is that you got to realize that it just came out of nothing. See? So when you keep saying, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Some people might have to say, well, I don't know, it just happened, just like that. Just started, that's it. So then basically, just from nothing, right there. See that? A lot of evolutionists teach that we came from dark matter, they'll say, which they claim is nothing. And I know that some atheists who don't know science, they think, well, we came out of nothing, dark matter. But they don't understand this. No, that's not nothing. When I say nothing, that means purely nothing. Dark matter. See? It still has substance.
That's right.
That's not purely nothing. See? Because the first law of thermodynamics, it states this. In plain, easy English, matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed. So in other words, matter and energy, every little substance, just can't just poof like that. And it can't be destroyed, poof, purely nothing. It can't. See? That's Albert Einstein said this. The smartest, one of the smartest men, praised to be as the smartest man with the highest IQ. He says the 2 most irrefutable laws of science ever, one of the 2 most is the laws of thermodynamics, which is the first law of thermodynamics, which I told you. Matter and energy cannot be created or destroyed. And the second law of thermodynamics, he says. Those are 2 irrefutable laws. Einstein said you cannot revoke those 2. It's impossible. Now, so we do know then that's impossible. We came out of nothing. Remember, there are only 4 options. Okay, only 4. Then the second option, okay? Then it was always been here. It's always been here. So in other words, it had no beginning or end. That's impossible too. They're saying that it's always been there. Always been there. It's always been there. That's it. It's like eternal, you know? That's it. But that contradicts the second law of thermodynamics.
Right.
You know why? Because the second law of thermodynamics, let me give in easy English, is that matter and energy decay. They break apart. They break apart. That's what they call the law of entropy in science. In other words, the law of entropy, let me give an easy example. That way you can understand what it means by breaking apart. Okay? In science fiction novels, that's what we studied a lot too, about entropy. In other words, the easiest English is that things don't get better and better, see? Matter and energy don't just improve and become better and better. It actually breaks apart. It falls apart. So for example, there's a car, okay? You look at a car. Is that car going to be in that new shape, in that kind of function after 1,000 years? No, impossible. It's going to wear out. It's going to break apart. See that? It don't improve, see? So here's something that I don't understand about evolution. Evolution insists that everything about matter, energy, and substance, that evolved and improved together. So then they came together, this little guy came with this little guy, okay? I'm not going to give scientific terms, I'm just going to speak in easy English. So this little guy came with this little guy, they came together, they formed a substance, and this substance came with this little guy, and they formed bigger, bigger, bigger. That's totally contradictory to second law of thermodynamics anyway. So to disprove evolution, you just need one law. That's it. Second law of thermodynamics. You don't have to debate about all this kind of stuff. But aside from that, that's just a side note. That was a bonus, okay? So aside from that, the point is this, is that when you have a substance, it can't be like that forever, all right? It has to break apart. If you insist that, oh no, the universe has always been there, oh no, it's just always been there, and then this substance, which has always been there, then it created into this substance, and then that substance, that original, first guy, that substance, it's impossible to always have been there for eternity. It should have been decayed, broken apart a long time ago. See? Right. So that's second law of thermodynamics, all right? The third option is, this is all an illusion. Obviously, no one accepts that, okay? Unless you're really dumb, okay? Not a rational, logical scientist would believe that, okay? You know why? Because I feel pain. I'm breathing. I'm living, okay? If this is an illusion, okay, then let's call it an illusion. I still feel pain anyways, all right? I'm still here anyways, all right? Some illusion, all right? So the illusion, no one would go for that, all right? There's only one other option. There's only one. There are only four things. The only other option then is this. Something supernatural put it into place. Something supernatural must have put everything together. That's it. There's no other way around those four. You can't. Well, why can't we just say the universe was there, it just started, and then from there, then it began? First, law of thermodynamics. You can't just say it's just been there, just out of nothing. See? You can't do that. Can't do that. Well, why can't we say that, you know, that it came from dark matter, and then from dark matter it turned to gas, and then from gas and some electricity shot out of nowhere, and then to a matter, and then into some sort of form, a planet, blah, 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 blah. You can't say that, because if you insist that dark matter has always been there, second law of thermodynamics. It should have been broken apart a long time ago. Dark matter just does not stay there forever, see? Illusion, no one's going to go with that. You got no choice. Something outside of the physical universe, see? Outside of that, something supernatural. You can't just say some substance or some scientific thing. You have to say something supernatural had to put this into place. You have to. You know why a lot of scientists and atheists don't want to go along with that? They know that. A lot of them actually do know about this. Yeah. But you know why they don't? Because it's very simple. They want to believe what they want to believe. It's not science. That's why. Because something's supernatural. They can't go along with that. But then they are forced then to say, okay, then what else created this universe? You know what they all say? We don't have an answer. That's what they have to say. They'll say, we don't have an answer. So you're telling me, okay, so then you don't have an answer how this world came into play, but you just take it by blind faith that those substances created and evolved into us. You see that? Wouldn't it be easier to have something that's more logical? True, it is by faith we have to believe something supernatural came into play, but that's more logical. You see that? It's more logical, it's more reasonable. And you have to think this too, something supernatural created this complex universe too, everything into place. See that? What do you think sounds more, which one is more easier faith to believe in? You see that? Is it easier faith to just say, we don't have an answer, but we're just going to have to take it by faith that through these substances we evolved into place? You can't do that. Or is it easier to have faith in something supernatural? Just put it all over together here. What do you think is easier faith? You see that? These guys don't have an answer. See? But we already have our answer. These guys take it by blind faith. I know it's impossible that it came out of nothing. I know it's impossible that the substance has always been there, but we're just going to have to take it by blind faith that somehow it was there and then evolved. You see? Who's the stupid guy now? You see that? So it demands the existence of God. It demands the existence of God, the laws of thermodynamics. You cannot be an atheist. Don't be afraid of their scientific terms, all right, about how this world came into place. All you have to do is just keep asking it, where did it come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Just keep asking them that question. And then they're going to have to come only these 4 areas. They're going to have to do that. The only 4 areas, purely out of nothing, contradict first law of thermodynamics. It's always been there, contradict second law of thermodynamics. It's an illusion. No one's going to say that. The 4th thing, something supernatural. I was talking with an atheist, I remember, and he gave all these words about how this world came into place, and I said, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Finally, he came into nowhere. He's like, I don't know. And I told him something supernatural had to come into place. That's the only thing you can come into, see? So, the thing is this argument is not proving the Christian God. Some atheists will try to argue about, well, how do you know it's a Christian God? How do you know it's not multiple gods and all that? That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is this, is that something supernatural had to create this place. And if it's something supernatural, what's wrong with calling that supernatural thing God? It's just a name we give it. God, something supernatural. See? That's it.
Yeah.
You can't answer after that.
That's it.
Now, the atheist, when I was talking with him, then he had to go without a scientific realm. Then he actually ended up saying, well, then the universe itself somehow supernaturally created us. And then I caught him. I said, see, you admitted something supernatural came into place. Why not just call it God then? See? Now, how do we know that which God is right? Is the universe God? New Agers believe that. Or is it the multiple gods, the Greek gods? Or which is the right God? Then this is where you Christians come into play, all right? Well, it's the Christian God. How do we know? It's very easy. Because all those other gods, you have no proof of that. We got proof.
That's right.
This is where it comes in. So the most rational God to believe in is a Christian God. That's where you come down to.
Mm-hmm.
So that atheist, when he says the universe supernaturally created us, what I would have done after that was tell him, okay, then the universe is God then, all right? Now, how do we know which God is correct after that? You can't say the universe is God. Do you have proof of that? Well, how do you know that it's your Christian God that created this universe? Oh, because I have proof.
Yeah.
See that? And this proof, as you all know, is backed up by thousands of manuscripts throughout history. And it had prophecies that beat mathematical odds. It also has scientific statements written thousands of years ago before scientists ever caught up with that.
Yeah.
See? So, the thing is this. Well, what if they argue this and punch holes in the Bible? It don't change the fact that the point is this, the most rational, the most reasonable, and the strongest evidence for creating this universe is the Christian God. It still leans toward that.
Amen. That's it.
See? Even if they punch holes.